double laminated 2x10 headers,
Wow.
non-load bearing walls.
Oh, we're
I
on.
don't have that.
Thank you for.
All right, well, let's call this meeting to order. It is now 6:34, and we'll call the meeting to order. Is there any additions or anything that anybody would like to add to the agenda this evening? Or I will look to have a motion on the approval of the agenda for tonight.
So moved?
I just have one.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead, Jen.
It's more just a question. I don't think it has to be added. Has anybody heard anything on the coffee shop?
I can talk to you about it after.
Okay,
Okay.
my bad. I didn't-
All right,
Wondering if-
so we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
What's up? Last meeting's minutes, did everybody have a chance to look them over? Did anything they want to add or strike from the minutes from last month?
The only thing is I saw is if you talk to Maggie, the city about doing that sidewalk in front of the Blue Jay,
Oh,
Park. in front of the parking there.
I did reach out to the engineer and I did go out and look at it. I don't think there's any sidewalk there. I haven't gotten a response back as to why and yet. That's something I need to follow up on, but thank you for bringing that up because I did send the email. I just haven't
Okay.
gotten a follow-up response yet. But yeah, I did notice that there is like a connection kind of at the
On the
to
corner
the
there.
road, but yeah, it doesn't go in front, and so
Yeah.
I'll ask them about that and anything about adding.
It's
some-
just to keep people from going behind the cars, keep them to go in front of their cars.
Sidewalk to nowhere.
Yeah. And that way, I mean, if someone is handicapped in a wheelchair, they can go in front of the vehicle into the alley at least,
Yes.
versus going around the back and someone runs into them that way.
Yes. I will follow up and then I'll send you guys an email with what I find out.
Thank you.
Okay, excuse me. Other than that, any other comments or anything added to the minutes from last month? Otherwise, I will look for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
My second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on to business.
Okay, so I'll get to the splash pad update in a little bit. So I apologize that that wasn't on this meeting. I'm trying to figure well, I can go into it a little bit. So, and then I'll go into the pavilion. But the splash pad, as you know, it's a little more complicated with city projects. So as you know, for the pavilion, or I can update to the process for city projects, if they're over a certain dollar amount, is you have to put it out for bid, and it has to be a sealed bid. So what you need to do is you need to post it with specs, and it needs to be available posted on a site that's available for contractors to read the spec sheet and be able to bid their costs on it. And then we open it in a public meeting. And so it's kind of a competitive process. So the pavilion part, I understand. We've done it before. We do the same process as last time. We work with the architect for that part. The splash pad is a little bit more complicated because these companies don't offer apples to apples products. So essentially what I'm finding out working with two companies is that they're they're just different products, and I can say, hey, can you provide me something for $375,000, but they'll be different. And the more I looked into it, it was ultimately we're going to have to do some sort of process that that meets the bidding requirements. So I had to do a little bit more research, and then this week I found out that there are companies that we can work with directly if it's through, there's this organization that competitively bids 4 cities. And so through those competitive bids, they do list the companies that submit those competitive prices on the website. So I did notice that one company is on there, but one is not. And so I'm kind of working on what that means and so I think what that means is we can work with one company, but then do we want to, if that other company's not on there, do we want to still look at another company too? Otherwise, I think because of the way this is all set up, we could just work directly with one company and we wouldn't have to do the competitive bidding for the splash pad. But it just got a little bit more complicated because I've just never done a project like this that you can't really put it out there and because you just don't get the same product. And so, yeah, so I have to wait until I get clarification on that, and then I want to bring it back to you to let you know how it's gonna work
So there is potential that you would be able to direct select
Yeah, so
Or-
you can, depending on if the company has gone through that competitive bidding process with
I
that
see.
organization, we can work with any company that's done that. Otherwise, it just makes the process a little bit more
I see.
tricky.
Okay.
Can you say which one is on that?
Yeah, and the thing is I haven't double checked.
Yeah.
I don't want to like say that the other one's not on there. I just haven't gotten confirmation. I was gonna reach out to the other company and see if they're on there, but I didn't find them. So right now, I can only confirm that Flagship is on there.
So is it like a state, almost like a state bid process? Is that
Yeah.
kind of what they have?
Yep, so and I'll give you some more information in a summary at another meeting, but
Okay.
it's essentially this organization that works on behalf of local government entities that work through competitive bidding. Like they work with these companies to get competitive bidding, and I guess that meets the state laws as far as competitive bidding.
They're auditing their costs
Mm-hmm.
more or less, and so they're basically confirming that these are competitive. Even if you direct select this company, you'll receive a competitive bid
Exactly.
because we've certified them.
Yep, and it'll
Okay.
meet the state law requirements that we
Sure.
need to be in compliance.
Okay.
So yeah, it just kind of threw a little complicated, and I'm gonna reach out to, I know one city that's done it, but I'm gonna reach out to another city and see if that's the route they took too,
Okay.
because,
That'd be great.
yeah.
it'd be
So
really nice
it's just a little weird right now while
Okay.
I look into that. I just didn't want to show you guys concepts until, and then be like, oh, just kidding, we can't use that company.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
But the pavilion I do have an update on, which is nice. I did reach out to Eric with Olson Architect. And we did have a really lengthy discussion on the old plans, and as you know, those plans are from 2016. And that, I think, predates when we were gonna do like a package project with a splash pad. And so at that time, we were like, all right, we just want bathrooms. And so we have essentially 2 large bathrooms built in. And now my idea, working with him, because we have the splash pad, we thought it might make more sense if we kind of cut the 2 large bathrooms into 4 chunks, and 3 of them were bathrooms, and then we could still do that concession room. So they would essentially be unisex bathrooms that are like unisex bathroom changing rooms that you can access from the outside. So there'll be 3 of them available. And he said you could do 3 plus the concession area, or you can do 4 bathrooms. That's kind of, I just wanted to get your thought. I thought that made sense because I think that would alleviate if it got busy, like people would be able to kind of have more privacy when they're changing, and it's kind of the way things are going anyways.
And then if you have kids and trying to
Right.
keep kids in a larger space.
Or take them to a bathroom or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I was reading through part of the meeting. I really think that's a great idea, but because it's a similar footprint, but also we're, like you were saying, I mean, if you're taking little kids there, like you're gonna take them into the bathroom to change with them, like, so just I feel like it simplifies things too. You've only got
Absolutely.
3 bathrooms. It doesn't matter who's going where. You know, it's
And then you gain
Yeah.
the concession area that,
exactly.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be large, but like we had said, we don't need anything
No.
big. We just need something that has
a little bit of counter
accessibility.
Yeah,
And
because
some
I was in
plugins.
Arizona in April, and that's what they had. They just had like 8 or 10 just unisex bathrooms, and they just had any vacant or in use, and,
Right.
you know, that's
Right.
all it needs.
Yeah, you just lock
I
it.
think that's a good
I
idea.
mean, have changing tables in each one then, type of thing, and should be good.
Yeah, and then the other discussion, because I know he knows we're trying to stay within a reasonable price point too, and I did say with the splash pad, and I did kind of put it in my memo, that we'll have like those, I think we're planning to have those like kind of flower or petal shelters where we can put a picnic table under
Yeah. like-
those.
Yep.
And so he suggested cutting back the pavilion a little bit too, if you want. Just to like, he said that would be like a way to cut some cost off of that if you want. But he said he would leave it enough that there would, I think he said, hold on, let me look at the plans. If you look on page 11, I think he was gonna cut it back to that second pole. If that makes sense.
Big enough for like 6. You had 6 picnic tables instead of, or 3 picnic tables instead of
Yeah, so if it's like,
or whatever. I don't know how many tables those actually. Half of them. Yeah.
yeah, and
doesn't give you much room.
yeah,
No,
that
that's
was
what
an
I'm afraid
option.
of. Is it
Well, do
doesn't
we
give
know
you-
like what kind of cost savings we're talking about? I mean, are we going from like a $350,000 to $325,000 structure or something like that, or
You know, he
He
didn't,
right?
he wasn't able to get it to me by today.
Right.
I guess I don't
And I-
know that difference.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
And
Like,
I don't
is
know
that-
if cutting that area, I mean, that's concrete and shingles. You're not cutting much out of there.
that's
Not really.
You know,
The
concrete and shingle-
truck's already here.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, would you agree, Ryan?
Yeah,
With-
I would say, let's make it the way we want to, because to add on, and is this gonna cost more money down the road with inflation and everything?
Right.
Interest rates are low, I don't know how it is with bonding and stuff with that, with the city and everything like that, but,
But like you were saying, if we need more later on, we can add those triangle shades off the side even
yeah.
Or-
and stagger some picnic tables.
Right.
Or even another pavilion if there's room.
Right,
somewhere
but I
else
mean, I
to
could
go.
see, I'm just looking at the usage of the pavilion down in Westridge, how that one is utilized. I can see this one being utilized even more.
Yes. And they use that actually quite often.
Oh, that is, yeah,
Surprised.
there's quite a few parties. It amazes me the number of parties and stuff I never
Have
expected.
we ever
And whether or
considered-
not you design it in a way that it is phase 1 of the pavilion and you add on
And
to the
add
other
it.
side of it so that you add more, so that way you can have 2 separate parties going at the same time.
Or one large one. if
Yeah.
you had-
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
so think of it that way too,
Because we'll always, I think, the way it's gonna face, we will have room to expand either way.
yeah.
Yeah, but the way the roof is though, I don't,
oh, the hip,
Right?
that isn't,
Yeah,
that
We
isn't
should,
anything
but we should
that would
ixnay
hold
the
it
hip
back.
No.
and just make the end.
Kinda like.
That would probably cut cost, if we just go to a gable end instead of
Yes,
a, instead
that's
of
what
a
I
hip.
would do, because then if you add on later, that's super simple then. You don't
Right.
even hardly have to tear anything off.
Yep,
That's just the one where you kind of chop
Yep,
it and it's
yep.
flat from the front.
Because then you could put
well, and that opens up
old
signage,
school house park right there
yeah, with the
Mm-hmm.
lions.
in the triangle.
Or
that way,
whatever.
that had the design with the old school, you could,
Yep.
The mayor's sign on it.
Yeah, with the mayor's sign and
that would look
everything.
nice.
and whether or not you wanted to have the galleyway like I designed, but I mean, that's up to, the architect's gonna have his own
Right.
thought of
So I
that.
know, like, I'm picturing it's gonna be similar to what we have here.
I'm assuming the bathrooms be on the backside.
Yeah, it would be this similar.
I would think that they'd be on the side of the building, kind of where the entrances to the bathrooms are now. Two of them, and then maybe one around the back or one on the other side.
I suppose.
And then that kitchen area would kind of be towards the pavilion area,
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with an opening, possibly.
I guess either way with the bathrooms, it don't matter. You know,
It's a square building.
the
That can
Right.
splash pads are gonna, the splash pad's gonna be on the what, north side of it? On
It'll be
this
on
side?
Yes.
The,
So it'll be over by the ball field.
The-
It will be.
The west side then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one thing I was thinking about,
Layouts like
and I don't
this.
know if you
So
Slash
this
pads
is,
over here,
this
right?
is facing Blue Jay, I'm assuming?
This is north here.
yeah, the
Oh,
the shelter would face.
So here's the
Blue
ball
Jays
field.
We can actually turn the shelter any which way we want.
could.
That wasn't really, that was just kind of a rough idea of what way we were gonna move it. But it could be turned or moved.
You do it this way, you just make these in the intersect.
So-
You could add on.
So, okay, so what I think we all agree that
'cause it's easy to add on.
3 bathrooms and concession.
I think
Still
that's,
Yeah.
I think that's the route. The 3 bathrooms and a
Yeah.
concession would be,
Yeah, 'cause
would
that
be
way
really
you have
nice.
view
Yeah.
site.
You can either add
Someone's
on
over
And
here, you
then
have the kitchen in
keeping
center,
the
everything's
size
in
of the
center.
pavilion.
It seems, yeah, it seems like there's probably not enough cost
Oh, Yeah,
savings to
designs that
justify
way
that
too, is because
use
that
reduction.
way-
But that would end
Right.
up,
And I think, to Chad's point, I think doing away with the hip roof and going to a
Those would be
gable
kids, I
end,
mean,
I think that would
they
be a
can play in
cost
this
savings
corner
in
area
itself
and
there
be
also.
Okay.
Because these hip, I know these hips are kind of, they're not cheap. A hip roof,
No, it's a little more material, you got more.
more shingles, more,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get it on the side of the bathrooms, or if they can go out far enough with the other style too, just on kind of either end.
yeah, if you put the bathrooms on that east side there, but if you're talking about possibly adding on,
You could always add another pavilion off of this
well,
side.
that's.
Right, that's
Or
why I
more
was saying,
restrooms if
change,
we
Or
end up-
more restrooms or
change the
whatever,
roof a little
so-
bit on
Well,
that
if you
side
remember on
too.
this, Mike, if we
Yep.
did it that way, because that way you could add on that whole end again.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep, for sure.
Because this can make these unisex, and you keep everything in the center.
Yep.
That way you have a party here, party there, you know.
Right,
And if it's a bigger party, there's still common
Right.
area that's sheltered if it rains or something like that,
yep.
So more
so.
open in the middle then?
Yeah, the way I scaled it was 10 feet because it was 30 feet wide. So it's, you had 10 feet on the left. I mean, whether or not you needed to make that 32 or 36 or something like that.
Is there gonna be any kind of storage room on it? for
Yes,
picnic
that's what the
tables?
center, oh, no, there was
Or-
nothing.
Hold on, I think.
Well, I
you-
suppose they can stay under the pavilion
Yeah, they
also.
just-
We chain them together anyway.
Yeah,
Maybe
Never
so in the
mind.
winter or something.
Ixnay my question.
I think there's like that middle piece, like that is the
Like a little
plumbing
utility?
maintenance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that middle pizza utility, yeah.
Yep, because that's where water heater will be.
Yep.
There's a wash sink in there, the pressure washer lines.
Put
They'll have a
towel-
pressure washer there,
Paper towels and
Yeah.
all that.
all that
extra stuff.
happy-go-lucky stuff that you gotta have, so,
So now they'll blow that up and shut
Electrical.
it down for the winter?
yes. Yep, and it was supposedly supposed to be designed that it was gonna be real simple for them to drain and maintain. So, it was all concrete structure, like I say, pressure washer, go in and wash it down. There shouldn't be a whole lot of physical contact. You know, so, the design, this design that we had come up with was pretty simple and easy. But I think just adding, you know, quartering these out
Right.
makes sense, I
Yep.
think.
Oh, yeah.
With the pavilion side, are you just gonna look up at rafters and a steel roof? Or is it gonna be a finished under, because I'm
I would say
assuming it's
you'd
gonna
wanna
be
do a
vaulted.
metal roof because you're gonna have birds that are gonna be perching, making nest and that kind
Would
of.
you just do a flat roof or would you vault it?
Keep costs down is keeping it flat.
Okay.
If you want, yeah, if you wanna have a little extra, yeah, you can, but it's gonna cost a little bit more.
I just keep it flat, I
Yeah.
agree,
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Keep it
That,
simple.
that would be simple, you know, common trusses,
Yeah,
you know, and then just sheet steel the underside of it.
yep. Cause that way you could power wash it or, you
You're
know,
gonna put
Would it
lights
make
and
sense
stuff
to have the roof steel sheeted too?
in. Oh, yeah, I would.
Yep.
Definitely as maintenance free as we can get.
Right?
yeah, because then you don't have to do anything.
There's no maintenance as far as, no, go ahead.
So that's like a metal roof.
Yep.
Like a
Just,
barn roof.
just basically metal roof.
Instead of
yeah.
shingles.
Yep.
Yep.
Kind of an architectural look to it, you know, they have different styles that look better than the other. I dealing with one right now, but that I can bring that over and show it to you guys next time. Just to give you an
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, sorry. I think that gives me enough to get him to redesign it a little bit. He said it's pretty simple and that, he didn't think that he, again, didn't really give me a cost, but he kind of was like, you know, if we're looking to move forward with this, it's so simple to just make these simple changes that he's like, I think I'll charge.
They've already developed
Oh,
all the plans
nice.
and everything.
Yeah, they have everything, so he
Nice.
said it's
Okay.
so simple, so.
Good, good to hear, good to
So
hear.
in the kitchen area, would we have a sink and
Yeah.
things in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, just a sink
Probably
Sink and probably like a countertop.
and with some outlets.
some prep area,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Some, yeah, maybe a couple you know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy.
I don't think we want anything fancy there.
No.
Just simple, basic.
Basic.
If they wanna
If
use it.
nothing else, some NSF stainless steel tables
I would do that.
instead of cupboards. You can't really
Yes.
wreck.
Absolutely. Yep,
Well, it's easier to clean up then too.
absolutely.
That
Yep.
type of thing.
You
Yeah.
can't really screw it
Goes
up.
in, go in, there again, hose them off.
Yep.
And again,
Clean 'em
you have
down.
you have low maintenance.
Set to go.
Yeah, because you're gonna have drains there and anyhow. so-
Absolutely.
Like do that fiberglass board on all the walls, so you literally can walk in and hose it down.
I think it's just concrete block.
Oh, well, that
Painted,
works.
painted concrete block.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that-
even better.
Yeah, I think that's all that this was originally proposed, was just that it was painted concrete walls, a drain in each section. I think there was a couple of different drains in here. But, I mean, they can quarter that off. Each floor would have a drain sloping towards it. Like I say, they go in with the pressure washer, they shoot it down, you know, spray some disinfectant on the walls, shoot it down, and you're done.
The only thing I could say is maybe having a ventilation system, so basically a fan in there.
Yeah, fan.
So that, say if they do have a griddle in there, I mean, how far do you know, let them.
Right, how far do you let them go? I know what you're
Exactly.
saying.
Because, you know, like New Germany, they had the softball tournament.
Yep.
So they were cooking burgers and that kind of thing and having hot dogs. So how far do we let guys go? Let Lions Club, they, you know, if they're interested, do anything to kind of
Vent
appease them.
fan's relatively inexpensive. I mean.
Yeah, we'd probably
$100.
do them a little more industrial just because we can suck that out of
But
there.
still, 400 or 500.
But I don't
bucks.
see a griddle being put in here. I mean, if they want to, they could put it outside on a table,
Yep.
right?
I think if
Or
there are
I would,
outlets-
and I still envision,
We're gonna,
we had a lot of outlets, especially on the gazebo side, or the gazebo side, we had a lot of outlets put in above the steel table. I don't remember how many there were, but we like stressed, because that was like, okay, if you're having a potluck,
Yep.
you can plug in all your stuff here, right? And still have this table space and still have the community area out here.
Minnesota hot dishes.
Yes, very good. Very, very good. I can't, yeah, so there was a drinking fountain here on the backside. There again, depending on what way it faces, I don't know if that's something,
Well, I would have a water to refill your water bottle.
I would like to see a filling a
Have at
filling
least that.
station. But if possible, I would like to see that on the
Because now
pavilion
everybody
side.
you see has a water ball of some sort.
Yeah, like I say, if that would be
the
possible on the exterior, on the pavilion side.
And
On the side
sample
opposite
crisp,
from the-
Clear Mare water.
Well, then it's still in this area here, people could fill like here in the
Because you have like,
corner.
or if you have the kitchen area here, then you
Right.
just do it on the opposite side,
Right.
right? Because we're gonna have a roll-up door there.
Yep,
yeah,
so,
yeah, I like that
Cool.
better.
yeah, no, I think that's great, quartering it off, and, yeah, if he's willing to draw something up, that's not gonna, you know, break the bank here, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think I think we're kind of finally narrowing down the different concept pieces. And then I will be talking a little bit more with Public Works too, because I know they are able to do, I think when we bid this out last time, it included the water and sewer part of it, but I think we can maybe do that separate.
I think that can be done,
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk with.
talking with Kyle, he's pretty confident that we can contract that part on our own. That wouldn't have to be necessarily, because I know what the price that was contracted for water and sewer and what he had investigated were astronomical prices difference, so
Well, you can have it underground board, can't you? Most of it?
it'd be open cut,
Oh,
just
open.
easier.
Okay.
So, and as we said, we're gonna have to have water and sewer put in for the splash pad anyway,
Oh,
so,
It's not
you know, all the plans came from down the hill, from the sewer coming up the hill.
Okay.
It'd be easier just coming out off of Blue Jay here and just coming straight in with water and
And
sewer.
then make a 90 at where you think the splash pad will go type of thing.
Right, right, they can put one in, or that can always be tapped later on
Yep,
also.
okay.
So that's pretty simple thing there, so.
Okay.
Do we think timing with the old Public Works building for removal is?
I'm not too worried about it. It's a really kind of basic
Nothing that a
structure.
bobcat can't take care of in an hour.
Yeah,
I think it can get removed.
anything that have that down and gone in
Is
it.
there plan on
Oh, I
using
bet you
the
30
old fire
minutes.
station for storage? Is that what I?
I think in the next few years, I was telling staff and council, it's just gonna be a shifting game for a little while.
Yep,
So, you know, when the fire station's built, that'll all get shifted there. We have a plan to eventually, hopefully expand the Public Works building in the next few years. So again, like, with that, maybe they'll use the fire station until we figure out and finalize what we're gonna do with it. But then that allows us to, you know, tear that down, and it's just kind of shuffling for a while until we get all the buildings where they should be.
People in
But
there
I'm not too worried about,
in the fire station.
I'm not too worried about like not having storage space. We just gotta be strategic about it,
okay,
so.
Then you might as well utilize the building you own until you get.
all right, absolutely. All right, moving on, staff updates.
Yeah, so on page 18, I have staff update. So I already kind of went over the splash pad. I'll give you guys an update on that as soon as I get it.
Okay.
Park signs are in.
They look
I did a picture of them.
awesome.
Those, I think Kyle said he's gonna work on them next week. So yep. So we're hoping to get those up next week. They're working on some Gaga pit stuff this week. Yeah, so he's kind of phasing some of the.
Is there a new one going in?
No, I think he's trying to level it out to we purchased some, like, what is that called? Some padding material to make it a little bit more, remember that, it's like a rubber matting?
Yeah, it's a map.
But he wants to like level it out first.
Yeah, that
and then
pad's
put
really.
It's like this, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to get some
Some water?
sand, he said he was gonna
That's
get some
good.
sand fill in.
That's
put it
good.
up.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my comment. I was like, are they gonna fill?
Yeah, I think it's
flatten
gonna
that
be-
out? 'Cause it is really like.
So,
Share that
Cool.
cough.
oh no,
And then, as you know, the basketball court is done in Discovery Park.
anybody go
and
look? I did.
I just put a
It's cool.
picture in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. The painting, all of it on there, that's the way to do a basketball court.
Yeah, it
in
looks
my
really
mind.
nice.
I think
And-
it
What's
looks
wrong
really
with
nice.
it?
And we put something on social media and the news, and it's gonna be in the next newsletter.
Okay,
going out
fantastic.
tomorrow. So, yeah, we're really excited about that. So with that, we're kind of, you know, wrapping up our 2021 projects, which feels good.
Yeah.
And then, again, a lot more planning that we need to do for focusing on this. So I think that'll be good to not take on any more projects and really focus on getting this concept down. And, yeah. So that's all I have right now.
I think everybody agrees on the concept, so I think if we like the numbers, that should move pretty smooth.
Yeah, I think it feels good that like you said, seems like we're narrowing in on, like, finally what we want to do, and
Yeah, it's just one of those things that we only meet once a month, and I'm
yeah,
trying to go.
it's hard to.
Yeah, I'm trying to go as quickly as I can, but again, there are times that I'm doing something for the first time, and I'm reaching out to other people and other communities and trying to understand the process too, and I just want to do it the best way possible.
So could we potentially have that thing built next summer?
Yeah, if we can kind of get everything approved and like the whole concept, it is possible that we could get it out for bid. Bidding is usually, we want to be strategic about it, and we usually try and do it in the fall. So we gotta move a little
On our horse then.
quickly, but, yeah, we still have to move a little bit, on it, but, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I guess you just don't wanna bid stuff in January, February. It's more of a, what'd you say, Mike? Would you say October? I know that's coming
Yeah.
up, but November, December.
November, December,
And
by
again,
January, February, they start filling their book.
yeah, and it's not like, and if we need to have a special meeting, I'll work with you
Okay.
guys to do that. But I think I'll keep you updated. I think things are starting to finally come together. It's just kind of coordinating and getting the information and waiting for people to get back to me, so.
Perfect.
That'll really make this area look a heck of a lot
Oh, yeah.
nicer with
It'll
that old
clean it up.
city shed gone.
We'll clean it up for sure. Been waiting for that shed to go for a lot of years. Okay. Anybody have any other reports or anything that they wanna?
I was wondering about the sign on the roundabout, the new sign on the roundabout.
Yeah.
Is there landscape lighting going on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I
I figured as much, but,
Yeah, I think I think Kyle said in the next 2 weeks,
Okay,
they'll
cool.
get out there and it'll be like plant, or some bushes and flowers.
to dress it up and everything,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Tried to wait for the sign install and.
Yep.
It'll
Well, it's
look-
waiting for
it'll look
everybody
a lot
and
better
just-
than before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks a lot better now already.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, the sign looks really nice.
Well,
that's all I got right now.
all right. Well, if nobody has anything else, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
You'll second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.